Shalom, first and foremost, I'd like to give all praise to Yahweh, Ba'ashem, Yahushai, Ba'ashem, Rakal Kadash, double honors to elders and apostles, great millstone, and shout out to Yakims out there on four corners of the earth proclaiming this truth. As you know, martial law is coming. FEMA is everywhere, especially if you live here in California, but brothers from all over are now catching heavy artillery, and they ain't just headed towards Mexico. They're headed across the entire United States. You've been watching this kind of movement, especially since Jade Helm. And what are they getting ready for? Well, these events, you know, because we know that the Most High controls Esau. The sword has come against you wicked. And so we know that, you know, especially you wicked two-thirds. And so we know that what's about to happen is, you know, expect more fires, expect more FEMA. Because how do they do it? It's Federal Emergency Management Agency. So, of course, to manage things, they have to manage an event. And so that's what you have here. So, I'm going to read out of Isaiah chapter 9, and I'm going to read from verse 8 on up. And, you know, this is really directed towards you wicked two-thirds who don't want to repent, don't want to teach the right doctrine, you don't want to teach falsehoods. You know, this is for you. The Lord sent a word against Jacob, and it has fallen on Israel. All the people will know, Ephraim and the inhabitants of Samaria, who say in pride and arrogance of heart, the bricks have fallen down, but we will rebuild with hewn stones. You know, again, you know, you constantly see it all the time. Even the wicked say this, you know, that we will rebuild, ready strong, you know, after the car fire, you know, and that's what they're ignorantly saying now. The sycamores are cut down, but we will replace them with cedars. You know, you just, oh, we're going to build it stronger. It's stronger than it ever was before. We're going to make America great again. Isn't that what Donald Trump just said? Therefore, the Lord Yahweh Ba'ashem Yahushai shall set up the adversaries of Rezin against him, and spur his enemies on the Syrians before and the Philistines behind, and they will devour Israel with an open mouth. You know, so, yeah, heavy judgment. I mean, look at all the shit that's happening against Syria right now. You know, because the Most High, in these latter times, well, what does it say? That Damascus is going to be destroyed, doesn't it? And yet, we're seeing the same sword coming after Syria, as he's also coming against you wicked two-thirds, and you Edomites. The same sword. And they shall devour Israel with an open mouth. For all this, his anger is not turned away, but his hand is stretched out still. So, the Most High is the one that's stretching out his hand against you, wicked two-thirds. Here it is, we go out on the highways and the byways proclaiming this truth, but you still want to hang out with Esau and be best friends with him. You want to celebrate Thanksgiving with him. That's another thing that's coming up. You know, you wicked are celebrating that, and you're getting ready for Christmas and Black Friday. Let's not forget that. But what is Black Friday representative of? How he sold you on the streets. For the people do not turn to him who strikes them, nor do they seek the Lord Yahweh Ba'ashem Yahushai of hosts. Therefore the Lord Yahweh Ba'ashem Yahushai will cut off the head and tail from Israel. Meaning that eventually that you're not going to see us prophets on the streets anymore. Palm branch and bulrush in one day. The elder and the honorable, he is the head. You know, you don't want to listen to the elders and apostles of great millstone. You don't want to listen to good teachers, but you'd rather follow all these other philosophies. You know, this Apostle Tahar just recently said, you know, one day you want to follow great millstone, another day you want to go back to being Baptist, another day you want to be a Pentecostal. No, man, we ain't got time for that. The prophet who teaches lies, he is the tail. So, yeah, IUIC, that's a tail, man. For the leaders of this people cause them to err, and those who are led by them are destroyed. Therefore the Lord Yahweh Ba'ashem Yahushai will have no joy in their young men, nor have mercy on their fatherless and widows. For everyone is a hypocrite and an evildoer, and every mouth speaks folly. And that's what's happening. Oh, we don't know what the name is, you know, so we don't teach in that name. You know, or it's Ahayam, or something like that. You know, they refuse to call upon his real name, Yahweh Ba'Shem Yahushai. For all this his anger is not turned away, but his hand is stretched out still. For wickedness burns as the fire. It shall devour the briars and thorns, and kindle in the thickets of the forest. They shall mount up like rising smoke. Are you not seeing that happening? But this is even talking about greater destruction, which is the thermonuclear war, when this place is burnt up to be found no more. Through the wrath of the Lord Yahweh Ba'Shem Yahushai of hosts, the land is burned up, and all the people shall be as fuel for the fire. No man shall spare his brother. You know, this paradise burning, or you could even say Keswick being destroyed. You know, if you live up here, a little further away, or Thousand Oaks, you know, ain't nobody going to be merciful. And he shall stretch on the right hand and be hungry. He shall devour on the left hand. That's what's happening. The Most High is devouring you wicked on the left. And not be satisfied. Every man shall eat the flesh of his own arm. Manasseh shall devour Ephraim, and Ephraim Manasseh. Together they shall be against Judah. For this his anger is not turned away, but his hand is stretched out still. And we can see that, you know, a house that's divided shall not stand. And yet you got our people divided against each other. I mean, this is why, you know, only the elect, the 1/3, is going to make it out of this. I'm reading right out of this, and you can see what's about to happen. You know, and of course Esau, his kingdom is coming down. But, you know, he keeps on, you know, we know it's the Most High that's actually doing this. But Esau, in his heart, he thinks that he's the one orchestrating it. The Rothschilds think that they're the ones coming up with a new world order. But it's really Yahweh, Ba'Shem Yahushai, is coming up with a new world order. Because he does have a new world of order of things. But first, he's going to send the sword out after you. You know, 2/3 have to die. But the rest of the world have to die. Most people need to die. And that's why all this is happening. You know, but for those dry bones that are waking up, now's the time to come out. To come out and prophesy and to get right. To get right. You know, repenting. Coming back to law, statutes, and commandments that we were given. Because these law, statutes, and commandments were only given to the nation of Israel. You know, thus, we're the only ones that can be sinners, because we're the only ones that went off of the law and transgressed against the law. Those law, statutes, and commandments were never given to the other nations. That's why you were raised in this other societies where pork was a normal, where eating other ungodly things was a norm. Because you were not raised as an Israelite. You were never told you were an Israelite. But now, having waken up in the valley of the shadow of death, and we know that America is that valley of the shadow of death, because America is that valley where, are you going to die next week? You can die in the streets? I can tell you of lots of stories where people have died, and nobody even knew that they were dead. Or when they were dead, they just passed by their dead bodies, not even noticing that. To be just dead on the street, and nobody ever noticing. You see, all these things are happening for one reason. This kingdom is about to be taken, is about to be destroyed, and another kingdom shall rise after it. For Esau is the end of the world, and Jacob is the beginning of that which followeth. So, you know, like everything else, though, just going to keep on going out there and proclaiming this while we still can. The famine of the word is coming, and you know the mark of the beast is here. You know that they are going out there and trying to get everybody signed on to the real ID, which will eventually be replaced by the RFID. You know, you won't be able to buy, sell, or trade unless you have that mark in your right hand or in your forehead, you know, thus having the brain implant. So, you know, for all this, though, it's time now to come back. Come back to law, statutes, and commandments, but most of all to go out there and prophesy while we still have the luxury of doing so. For all that, I want to say, Barak the Yahweh, Barak the Yahushai, Ba'Shem Rakal Kadash, Barak Atam. I hope these videos have been edifying. Shalom.